Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean Stacking the Money Green. Give me a follow on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE, and a $10 bet turns into $200 if either team scores a touchdown. Restrictions apply. Good for college and pro football. All right, man, a ton to recap. Let's start with the bad news. Phillies, RIP. So obviously my Phillies to win the World Series bet is cooked. My MVP plays are cooked. Ugh. I mean, that team, hats off. What a fun season. What a fun, wild ride. I'm sure we'll figure out that Houston cheated somehow at some point. Weird move that Dusty Baker, I saw it on social media, was saying all his like big celebrity friends and also included Bill Cosby. Weird take there, but again, Astros probably were the better team. The Magic unfortunately ran out for the Phils. Bats just got cold late after that record home run game. They just couldn't really get the offense going, so RIP. Moving over to college football Saturday. Nice Saturday, 3-1. I did lose my little long shot there on the Breeders' Cup Taiba. In my defense, I did tell you Flightline was going to win, but it was no fun to take such a massive favorite, so maybe partial credit there. Only had 1 unit on Flightline, had 2 units on the college football picks. Unfortunately, I had 5 units on the World Series. Hey, I was at World Series fever. So, yeah, like I said, Taiba did not win. Flightline won. I think Taiba got third, so decent showing by Taiba. Tennessee +9. That did not cover for us. Man, they were just outclassed. I knew I was getting cute with just everyone and their mom was on Tennessee there. It just I got sucked in by the Hendon Hooker stuff. Should have thought a little harder on that one and faded the public. I mean, I even said public dogs have fleas. Pet the dog. I got fleas. Hey, how about Army, though? That was a nice way to start the beginning of the college football Saturday. Army +7, that covers. They lost 13-7, but they covered the +7. This was just classic Service Academy football, real slow-paced game. Air Force threw the ball a couple times, and they actually got me a little nervous there in the second half. Almost pulled away, but Army slowed them down. And yeah, again, back and forth, very ugly game, 13-7. The under 40.5 was never in doubt. That thing is just a print fest. So keep playing that one. And then last but not least, Liberty +14.5. Are you kidding me? That was a no sweat winner and should have taken the money line. I was considering taking the money line, didn't have the cojones to pull the trigger on it, but 14.5, that was an easy bet. You know what also is easy is chance to win an autographed Ken Walker jersey. That's right. All you got to do is go to youtube.com/bettingpros, hit subscribe, comment on any video. And, well, actually, this video, it doesn't really matter. Comment on this video with your NFL lock for Sunday or whatever you want. And you got a chance to win an autographed jersey of Ken Walker, courtesy of Pristine Auction. All right, here we go. 5-game slate. And I got not 5-game slate. There's obviously more games, but I got 5 picks for you. Rapid fire, 2-unit NFL plays for all of these. First up, we get the Colts at the Pats. You can get the Patriots -4.5 over on FanDuel. Now, technically, Sam Ehlinger isn't a rookie quarterback because he was drafted, last year was his first year, but it's his second game he's ever played. Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks, I think, still applies to some degree here. He's 25-6 straight up, 15-0 at home against rookie quarterbacks. And for all intents and purposes, Ehlinger is a rookie quarterback here. Mac Jones, I don't think is going to have to do a ton. Colts, they traded away Nyheim Hines. They don't have Jonathan Taylor. It's just going to be Sam Ehlinger here trying to, and maybe Deion Jackson gets involved, but man, the Pats defense is pretty good, especially when you're limited, you're one-dimensional. They struggle at times with true running quarterbacks, but it's small sample size. I didn't think Sam Ehlinger was a true running quarterback. And the Colts, man, this just seems like a team you want to fade, right? They fired the offensive coordinator. There's talk about Frank Reich getting fired. It seems like rats jumping off a sinking ship right now. Plus, teams going into the bye are 11-5 against the spread and straight up. That is the New England Patriots. Next up, Dolphins at Bears. I'm taking the Bears plus 4.5 as a home dog, 2 units. Is it annoying me taking the Bears? I just think this Bears team continues to be slightly undervalued. I know Justin Fields has a lot of flaws in his game. So I'm already dreading this pick because for whatever reason, I'm infatuated with this Bears team, gambling wise, and I can't stay away. Chicago's they're able to generate a pass rush. I think they're going to be able to get some pressure on Tua, get that long grass, Soldier Field, maybe slow down Tyreek Hill, Jalen Watt a little bit. Am I worried that they keep trading all their defensive players, the Bears? Certainly. But I would say this is a sneaky tough spot for the Dolphins, right? They played in Detroit. They got away. They almost blew that game. They got a non-conference road cover. Then you go back to home to Miami. Then you go back to Chicago for another non-conference road game. It's tough to win back-to-back ATS as a non-conference road favorite. I know on paper it doesn't make sense why the Bears would cover this game, but something's going to happen that helps this Bears team out because it's just a tough travel spot for this Dolphins team. And I think Eberflus has kind of figured out how to coach up Justin Fields. They're doing more design runs, which I like. So, yeah, give me the Bears plus 4.5 here. Always love a good home dog. Raiders -2 at the Jags. I'm on the Raiders here. They're coming off a blowout loss against the Saints. How can you trust the Jags in any situation? 2-1, and they've just completely fallen apart. God maybe hates Jags. Devontae Adams, he was dealing with the flu. A lot of the Raiders players were also dealing with the flu. A couple trends I love here. Teams coming off a shutout, 27-10 ATS. This would qualify the Raiders, and it makes sense, right? They played a horrible game. Now they have a get-up spot against the Jags, the team they can definitely beat. This should be a great game for Josh Jacobs. The Jags really struggle stopping the run. And then last but not least, Trevor Lawrence is now 1-20 straight up in games where his defense allows more than 11 points. That's crazy. So if this trend continues, all the Raiders need to do to win the game is get to 12 points, and they're good. Somehow they'll cover the 2. I just think this Jags team, I'm just so out on them, and it's a nice bounce back spot for the Raiders. Next up, Seahawks +2 at the Cardinals. Maybe the Seahawks luck runs out, but man, Geno Smith is just playing so well. He's 4th right now in QBR. The Cardinals are really, really bad at home. You have Tariq Woolen, the rookie quarterback for the Seahawks. Maybe he can, he's certainly not going to stop DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe he can slow him down enough to make this a game. Traditionally, the opposing team wins in this matchup in the division. Road team has won 11 out of the past 16. So it seems like a spot where the Seahawks should show up. And I just like the Seahawks defense against Kyler. I think this Cardinals team is really in trouble. Like Kyler yelling at his coach, Kyler versus Cliff. Like, if he was wearing a headset, he'd be ready to snap it off. There's something wrong with this Cardinals team. They have a ton of talent. They just figure out ways to lose, and the Seahawks are exact opposite. Plus, I haven't even mentioned our boy, K9, Kenneth Walker. I think he could have a big game against this Cards defense as well. Last but not least, Titans at the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs -12.5, -105. You don't hear me laying double-digit favorites at home, or especially on the road, usually. Now, I did with the Eagles, and as proven out, that was a mistake. I think this is a spot where you take the Chiefs. Now, Mike Vrabel is really good as a dog. I think that is scary, but we've seen this Titans team, when they match up against elite teams, like when they went into Buffalo, they just got destroyed. I think Vrabel is getting as much as he can with the talent he has. However, this Chiefs team coming off a bye is just crazy. Everyone knows the trends about Andy Reid coming off a bye. He's dominated ATS 18-9 against the spread. And it doesn't look like Ryan Tannehill is going to go. Malik Willis is probably going to be the starter for them. I mean, I think Malik Willis is interesting as a talent. And I think, he has a massive upside. I just think going on the road in Kansas City, this is a very, very tough place to play. And I think the Titans defense is going to have their hands full with, Travis Kelce. I'm sure they're going to have a couple plays for Kadarius Toney. We've seen Juju kind of figure it out as of late. I just think the Titans are going to have trouble moving the ball. And I think they're pretty one-dimensional right now, especially with Malik Willis at quarterback. Load the box, slow down Derrick Henry, and I think the Chiefs are off and running. So give me the Chiefs minus 12.5, minus 105 over in points bet, 2 units on that. Seahawks plus 2, and then we got Raiders minus 2. Then we got the Bears plus 4.5, and last but not least, New England Patriots minus 4.5. All those plays for 2 units. And that'll do it. Hey, BetMGM, promo code JUICE. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other show, the Sports Gambling Podcast. Just broke down some college basketball. It's back Monday. Perfect thing to throw up while you're being a DJ at work. Some day college basketball. Tons of games, tons of picks over there. Hey, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.